Guys, what's been going on? It's Jack here. Today I wanted to make a video talking about a few things, a few bits of advice that I'd give for starting your own business, especially, if it's your first time doing so, whether it's a brick and mortar business, whether it's starting up a retail company, or whether it's an online business, whether it's starting Amazon FBA, like what I teach, or whether it's starting a Shopify store or a creative agency, or, a social media agency, or whatever it may be. Now that I've been running my own business for about a year and a half, I've sort of started to gauge, gotten a bit of an idea, a better understanding of, what it sort of, how I understand myself when it comes to running my own business, and, challenges and things like that I've faced, and, just all those different kinds of things. And I know a lot of people on this channel, they've come for entrepreneurship side of things, running an online business, say Amazon FBA, and they want some, some ideas of, what you need to get started and the way you need to think about it and just all that kind of stuff. I'm going to give you guys 5 tips on what I would recommend when getting started. Now, this is more so terms of mindset and, how I would lay things out and how I would approach things. So we're going to get straight into it. I haven't done one of these videos in a while, just face to face with the camera. We're getting so close to this move as well. If you guys didn't know, I'll be moving to Brisbane very soon. I'm in northern Queensland at the moment, so I'm a bit further up the state, but I'll be moving to Brisbane very soon. I'm getting trucks and stuff organised to move my car and to move extra stuff and things like that. Exciting stuff happening there. You won't see this background very soon. You're going to see my new place, and you're going to see different backgrounds and different areas and things like that, but I'm excited nonetheless. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this video. And number one, very important thing, when you are going into starting your own business, you have to have a clear goal set out in mind. Now, this can be a small goal to start with. This can be your ultimate goal to start with. I know when I first wanted to go out and start my own business, let's just say when I was first starting Amazon FBA, I had a certain goal. I wanted to make a certain amount. I wanted to hit the 3 to 5K mark in sales in a month. I wanted to hit the 10K in sales in a month, whatever it may be. Same when it came to, the online business with my online education, with Ecom Excellence. I wanted to hit a certain amount of students, in a month, enroll a certain amount of students. And I wanted, I have certain goals where, I want a student to hit a certain amount per month. I wanted a student to join the 10K club, and then, I got that. And then, I make another goal. It's really important to have a set out goal that you're going towards. Say if you're starting out selling on Amazon, you order 200 units. You want to sell those 200 units within a month. You try and push that. Once you get to that, I want to sell 300 units in a month, and then you push that to 500, and you keep pushing the boundaries of what that goal was, and you just keep pushing it further and further. You got to push the envelope further and further. I've kept doing that, and it's really showed through my progress this year. When I think back to how I was this time last year, I've definitely pushed the envelope this year, and I want to do the same thing next year. Double, triple what I've done. This year. I'm not talking about in terms of how much money I've made. It basically in terms of business growth, in terms of personal development, all that kind of thing. I'm trying to push the envelope in that and really set new goals. So it's really important to have a clear set out goal, especially when you're first starting. Have that one set out goal. Have that couple or a few small set out goals, and then once you hit those, push it even further, go even further, and keep pushing that envelope. Number 2, don't be scared of failure or setbacks. You are always, it doesn't matter what kind of business you're going into, it doesn't matter what you're doing, there's always going to be failure, there's always going to be setback. You have to be mentally prepared for that. I'm always in the mindset of, if something doesn't work out, it's not meant to work out, and what can I do to change it? What can I do to make it better? What can I do to negate these next time? You always got to be in the mindset. You can't be. There's been a lot of times, especially in the last year, where I've had this kind of looming sort of self-doubt, but I always remind myself at the end of the day that it's bound to happen. There's always going to be stuff happening. It happens for a reason, and there are things that I can do to prevent this next time. There are things that I can do to improve the situation, and at the end of the day, you really got to love the idea of this failure and love the idea that you take it as a learning curve. That's all I can say about that. It's always going to happen, whether it's problems with people, whether it's problems with the business, like technical problems, whether stuff hasn't gone according to plan, like you expected this to happen at a certain date, or you expected these amount of sales to happen within this time frame, or whatever it may be, in terms of your business, or you wanted to launch by the certain date, or something happened. Let's just say you were getting photos done for your product, and the photographer fell out, like you couldn't get your photos done, or you're meant to get these reviews and then a review got deleted and then you got a negative review on your product, or I'm talking about Amazon FBA, but it could be anything. Setbacks like that are going to happen, or extra costs came up when you're getting your shipment plan done, or you got it shipped or it got lost or something like that. Whatever it may be, there's always going to be problems that occur. There's always going to be stuff that's unforeseen. You got to take it as a learning curve, and you really have to expect that these kind of things are going to happen. And without that, you can't expect everything to go perfectly. And if you are prepared for this stuff, obviously you can't be prepared for that situation, but if you're prepared for stuff to go wrong, if you know that stuff is going to happen that you can't do anything about, you can only change the way that you react to it, you're going to be so much better off. And you're not going to, if you don't expect things to always go perfectly as you always think they will, you're going to be so much better off. Trust me on that. Whatever you may do, even if it's got nothing to do with e-commerce, if you try and do something, it's never going to go according to plan. You have to remember that, and you're going to be so much better off if you expect it not to. Number 3, now this comes into the whole brand building, business building kind of thing. I really recommend that you guys put out as much content as you can. Now for me, I try and do YouTube, I try and do Facebook, I try and do Instagram, podcasts now. I'm trying to now even do TikTok. Just as much as I can. I can definitely still be doing more, but I'm trying to put as much content out as I can, because I'm in the mindset of, if you spread out to as many different platforms as you can. I'm even trying to do LinkedIn as well. I know nothing about LinkedIn, but I'm trying to learn it. So my whole philosophy is, if you're spreading out to as many platforms as you can, trying to put out as much content as you can. And by the way, I'm doing this all by myself. It might get to the point where I can hire someone to help me out, but at this point I'm doing everything myself, all the YouTube uploads, podcasts, talking to students, helping them out, growing my own Amazon FBA products. Everything to do that you see with Ecom Excellence in the business is just me. I haven't hired anyone. I'm just doing as much as I can with the content. And yes, I'm under that philosophy is if you're doing as much content as you can, people are going to see it. People are going to see it eventually. It's going to grow eventually. The YouTube channel now is up at, I think we're at about 2K subscribers now, and we've got a Facebook group that's got about 750 members in it. The students we've got almost 200. There's like 10 spots left in this Ecom Excellence sale, and we're going to hit 200 students, which is amazing. Just everything's happening, it's slowly but surely. It's all happening, and it's because I'm trying to be as basically as consistent as I can with this content, and you're just gonna keep putting out content. So if you're trying to grow your business and your brand, one of the other most important aspects of that I can tell you is put out as much content as you can. Number 4, that's very, very similar, but you need to do as much as you can. Now, this isn't in regards to social media anymore, or putting out content. This is in your day-to-day. Do as much as you can. I get questions every day from my students and from followers and from people, if they want to enroll, or just people, comments on my YouTube. I'm always doing as much as I can, even if it's not content. That is just everything, and it even comes down to stuff like doing chores and that, instead of leaving stuff to the next day, do as much as you can in that day. Don't leave anything, even if you guys didn't know, I still have my Rocket League team, the esports team. I still train for that, even though we didn't make the top 8 in Australia. We're still training for the next season. We're starting to ramp back up again, and I'm still trying to do as much as I can. So I've got my work stuff, got personal stuff, I've got esports stuff, whatever it may be. I'm trying to fit in as much as I can during the day, and then even stuff like simple stuff like trying to catch up with friends and stuff like that. You try and do as much as you can. It all benefits, whether we're talking about business or not. It does benefit your life as a whole. It will benefit your business if you're trying to do as much as you can, and not for the wrong reasons. If you're trying to do it for the right reasons, do as much as you can. It will definitely help. I can guarantee you that. Don't leave. It's pretty much that whole saying of no stone unturned. You really have to do as much as you can, and it'll really help in the long run. 5, we're getting a bit more philosophical here, I guess, but you got to try and be as grateful as you can for the opportunity that you've got, especially when it comes to 2019. Someone my age, I'm 24 now. Turned 24 a few months ago, I think. Well, more than a few months ago now. It was as of June, middle of the year. I can't. I think back, this year's gone so quick, but I always try and be grateful. Every day that I wake up, I am grateful that I have the opportunity to try and grow something, to try and build something, and I had that same mindset when I was back working at my retail job, at my normal 9 to 5. I would try and be as grateful as I can that I have the opportunity. Now, if I was back there doing that same job now, I would be even more grateful. I would turn up to work even happier every day because I've now experienced, that whole the different side of it. Working for myself, I've experienced how now that I've got the opportunity to grow something myself, I've experienced that it takes work, that it's all on me. I own my own business. The success of that business is solely on me, and I can be grateful now to think back to it. If you have a 9 to 5 job, if you have a boss, you can turn up to work, you can do your job, and you will get paid that same amount, every week, each week, or you can work your way up, become a manager. It's really, I'm grateful for that fact now that when I was at a 9 to 5 job, I'd be guaranteed that money. Now, when you work for yourself, you really, really have to be strict on your time management. You really have to be strict with how much effort you put in, being consistent. You have to be strict with that. Otherwise, you're not going to get money. You're not going to get a paycheck. You're not going to, if you don't put in the work, if you're lazy, you're not going to get that money. So you really have to be grateful if you are in a 9 to 5 job for that, or anything for that matter. I'm grateful for the family that I have. I'm grateful for the friends that I have, for the life that I live, for the opportunities that I have. Really helps me put things into perspective each and every day, and it really helps me, it's really what helps me put in, the work that I do. So really, really be grateful for everything that you have. That is the 5th point. So that's pretty much it for my points. There's so much more that goes into this whole online and, owning your own business, e-commerce, all that kind of thing. But really, that 5th point is one of the main ones. It's one of the most important ones when it comes to anything in life, especially when it comes to building your own business, because you're going to have tough days, but there are ways to break out of it. It all comes down to mental fortitude, and it all comes down to being grateful for what you have and the opportunities that you have. I know that sounds, very cliche with what a lot of these, motivational speakers say and all that, but it's so true. And when I started, being grateful for all that I had and the opportunities that I had, everything was a lot clearer. I wasn't trying to get away from doing work. I was very, very, I'm very, very into doing work now, and not that I haven't been. I love what I do. Like I say in all my other videos, I love what I do. I love this whole e-commerce and online business kind of thing. It's very, very different, and it's different to what I've done, in the past, working in retail and that. Absolutely love what I do, but it really puts things into perspective when things get tough. So apart from that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed these points. Really hope it puts things into perspective from a business owner, myself. And I really, really hope this video helped you out. But apart from that, guys, like I said, you won't see me in this background for very, very long. You'll see me with a new backdrop, and wherever I set up my camera, we're going to be doing some more videos. I'll be able to do some more live streams as well, because I'll be living by myself then in my new unit, which is in Brizzy. So very, very keen for that. But apart from that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you guys very, very soon.